up? What up? It's Issa. You now tuned in to Hip Hop since 1987. Legendary. Let's get it.
What's up, Issa? It's Alanna Milan from HipHopSince1987 per usual. And this is a new episode of Talk to Me with Issa. How are you?
Talk to me.
Talk to me. I've talked to you a few times when we was kids. Like,
I know, man. It's so cool to see you growing up and doing your thing now. Got the gigs going on.
Right, thanks.
Yeah. That's what's up.
How has everything been like since the last time I talked to you? How has that transition been from like kid stardom to now? Like, how are you working it out?
The transition, it's been cool. Everything's everything. You know, I'm blessed. I can't complain. As far as the transition, I would say the transition has been exactly what it is, a transition. It's been a growing period. And, you know, I think I've kind of had to grow up in front of people. You know, I've had to mature in front of people, grow into myself, figure out who I was, coming to who I was, not figure out, but coming to who I truly was. As an artist, my message and everything, like you said, I've always kind of been in the public eye. And I've always kind of been like, you know, gotten a lot of attention since I was young. So attention is not something that I'm not used to. It's something that I'm used to getting all my life. But I think on a deeper level, this transition in stardom has just caused me to really like search deep about what it is that I'm doing it for. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I think every artist should have this type of soul search before they become famous, because you need to determine what it is that you're doing it for. And if it's just to be famous and to get money, then okay, that's just, you know, that's a lot of people's what they gonna do. But I think for the ones who are chosen to deliver a message and to put out, you know what I mean, these high vibrations for the generation and to push the culture forward, then I think those of us need to really like find ourselves. And so I think that's kind of been my journey in my transition in it. Of course, me having a family, having my daughter young, having children, being married, all those things.
Seeing her running around first time I interviewed you. Crazy.
Yep. And now she's grown, man. She's 9. She's about to be 9.
Crazy.
I can't even believe it. I've been a father almost 10 years now. It's so crazy to me.
That's so crazy. And I mean, you have had a transition, like you said, but I still see you with FYB. That's something that stays the same always.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things have not changed. You know what I'm saying? FYB, of course, they're my brothers. They're my guys. And it's always going to be. FYB is always going to be what it is. We went from fresh young boys to now we men. And so, you know, the new acronym is Forever Your Brother. And so I think that's a powerful meaning behind that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, everybody doing their thing now. Everybody's going into themselves and finding themselves as artists individually. Of course, Quee is doing his thing on the mainstream scale and, you know, having major success. And everybody else is like, you know, following up on him. And so I think that's great.
Yeah, and you just released a new visual. I watched it earlier.
Yes, ma'am. I just put out Emotions.
Yes, tell me the inspiration behind that.
The inspiration, that record was a record I was working on with my cousin. He had an idea. And my cousin Don Juan, he had an idea. And we was working one night in the studio. He played me a few hooks. And he just had like laid a skeleton or something. And then I just like really liked where he was going with it. So I changed it a little and I made it like personal, a lot more personal. And then came up with this idea about emotions. To me, the record is like dope because it kind of fits in to the tone that is like popular right now.
Right.
The tone of like the no caps and like the little babies and kind of like the emotional rap You know what I'm saying? Like the rap, it's like thugs crying. There's a lot of thugs crying on records right now. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of that. Yeah, man. It's a lot of like, you don't know what I'm talking about? Like, you know, a lot of like the Rod Waves, the Little Babies, what's the other guy I just named? No Cap. It's a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? Like painful type.
Music.
Huh?
Passionate trap music.
Yeah, it's like passionate trap. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It's like passionate trap. And so to me, I didn't even go for it. I didn't initially make that record to be like, to like fit into that kind of a genre, but that record ended up working perfectly as far as like what's popular right now. And I just kind of was sitting on it. I was like, man, let's just throw it out. We already had shot the video, so I was like, it makes sense to just to throw this record out, you know, and just let it do what it do. But of course, you know, the record kind of speaks for itself as far as like the content of it, you know, speaking on, I feel like a lot of people can relate to it. I made the song more so for people than myself. I made it for y'all. I didn't really make like that song. Sometimes I write music and it's not always like so pertaining to me in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not necessarily talking to nobody in the hook when I say, but I say, that bitch, to my love for granted, jigging me my heart back then. So it seemed like I'm talking about like an ex that took my heart. You know, that's what the video was really talking about, like really describing this woman, this like witch type of woman in the woods that took my heart. And now I'm going to find her to get my heart back. You know what I'm saying? And then through the verses, I'm like speaking on just some stuff. I'm going in between speaking on like real life situations, like in friendships and business. And then I'm also speaking on like relationship stuff. So you kind of have to like just catch me. You know what I'm saying? Like listen to
you just made a subjective song. Like people can relate to it however they translate it, basically.
Exactly. You feel me? So yeah, you know, I'm hoping that it continues to transcend. It's been getting a good response, and I got a whole lot more on the way. So
I was about to say you should keep rolling out them videos. That's what everybody.
I'm about to. I ain't gonna slow down. I know, like over the last few years, I guess I've been inconsistent, really. You know what I'm saying? But that's just because I've been trying to make sure that I don't I don't want to let my music go to waste. And I know that the way everything plays out in the industry right now, it's like it's so political, and everything is politics. It's not just based off talent no more. It's based off of, you know, of course, the back end. You need the right platforms. You need the right cosigns. You need the right amount of bread behind it. And so I just been waiting, you know what I'm saying, till I really like have everything that I need to make sure that the music doesn't go to waste. Because these days you can put out a #1 hit record, but if it doesn't have the politics behind it, then it'll go to waste. And so like over the last few years, I just been kind of like making sure that I do it the right way. And just holding on. I've been holding on to a lot of music, but I'm about to start letting it go. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to start letting it fly.
No, we need it.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it fly. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that. I'm excited about this journey right now. We release some music and everything that I have coming out. Me and Mello were just talking like, man, we about to just start shooting. Like every few weeks, I'm about to just be throwing a video. I'm sitting on like 5 videos, like unreleased right now that I've been sitting on. I'm like just sitting on.
So you just hold and go. Stop playing.
Yeah, I'm about to keep going for sure. Just be looking forward to it for sure.
All right, and I heard you say like the past couple of years you just trying to be, you know, like a little more planned out, more attention to detail, you know, just telling, remain organic. So in the midst of like working, watching the industry change, watching the politics just become too much, like how have you been managing being a father in the midst of that?
I think that it's a balance for sure. You know, and life is about prioritizing. So I think that between creating that balance in your life and figuring out what matters the most is just something that I've had to do over the last years of becoming a father, not only of 1, 2, but 3 children. And so every time I had another child, it just took me to a new level. It took me to a new level of making sure that like I was there, making sure that, you know what I'm saying, I took on full fully took on my responsibility as a man, you know, and so that's like what you see now, and I think it's good. It's still every day. It's still like a ongoing process of me just balancing. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning as I go. I got 2 boys and a girl. I'm learning as I go. There's not like no specific script on how to be a father. All I know is that I got to be there, and you know, I got to set out the right example, especially for 2 sons. I got 2 black sons growing up in this crazy world, and so I got to make sure that I give them what they need. And so you know, that's been a pretty cool. It's been a great experience. It's also been a learning experience. It's made me into a man. It's helped me to find myself, helped me to find out who I am, what God sent me here for, how I need to create my music, the balance in my music. You know, I've had to like tweak, you know what I'm saying? Because there's just certain things that I feel like my consciousness has kind of shifted. And I have to make sure that like I make music that relates to my audience, but also I have to make sure that I'm making music that when my sons and my daughter listen to, you know, they're gonna be able to get something from. It's gonna feed their soul. You know what I mean? So that's caused me to up the level of like thinking when it comes to like writing my music.
And what are your goals in the next, I'll say, 3 to 5 years? Given that you have like 3 main streams of motivation right there, 3 little humans, 3 little you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
what
so
are your goals to knock out? Like, I know
I'm 25. I'm 25, right? So I'm putting my first album out next year. God willing. God willing, I'm putting my first album out next year. Well, I'm about to start. I'm gonna release a few projects before then. Like, I'm gonna release a few bodies of work before then. Like, probably like 2 or 3 bodies of work that I'm gonna release before then. But next summer, I officially want to put out my first album. I just came up with the idea. I know how I want my first album to be. I know that I have the whole concept behind it, and so I'm actually working on that as we speak. I want to put my first album out, and then every year after that, I want to drop an album. So within the next 3 to 5 years, by the time I'm 30, 5 years from now, I want to have put out 4 or 5 albums. Now, as far as the success that they're going to have, I hope that they have the greatest success possible. Diamond, whatever's more than diamond. I know that it will have great success because of what I'm gonna put into it. I'm not even gonna say what I don't want to like say. Oh, I hope I get Grammys. I hope I get this and that. All I would say is I know what I want to do. My goal is I want to put out 4 to 5 albums. That's going to shift not just the culture, but I wanted to shift the minds of my generation. I want, like, every time I put a body of work out, or even music, I wanted to shift our minds, our ways of thinking. I wanted to make you think. I wanted to make you think, make you question things around you, make you question yourself, and raise your level of consciousness to the next level. And I also wanted to make you dance. I wanted to make you feel good. Even if sometimes it makes you feel bad, I wanted to just strike an emotion with inside of you. And so that's like my goal with my music. And that's what I want within the next few years. I want to raise my music to such a level that when it gets put out, it transcends through everybody. You know what I mean? Not only this generation, but through the generation that was before us, our mothers, I'm talking about grandmothers and younger. So that's what I feel my music will do.
I mean, I feel like from what I remember, you've always been a pretty good storyteller lyrically. You've always been able to send a message lyrically. So I feel like now it's just about you, incorporating your experience now as an adult and, just putting that all in a song. And I definitely feel like you got it. You definitely got it. First album.
Real tough.
For real, because I've been watching you this entire time. So it's cool to hear you so passionate about it still. You've been doing this forever. Like, So there's no point.
Forever.
You gotta keep doing. You gotta keep going. Like,
got to, and it's only a matter of time. And it's, you know, people like you who've been kind of like with me on my journey and just watching and still interested in what I'm doing, man. It just is part of what keeps me going, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate, you know what I'm saying, you sticking in there, sticking with me, and still watching and still wanting to, you know, learn about and see about what I'm doing. I really appreciate that. And I'm not going to let you down. Real talk.
don't, because you never have, so don't do it now.
I appreciate that.
Never have, so don't do it now. Yeah. But FYB, I'm gonna circle back to that. I know y'all have a. Okay. I really love that song. Show Me Something. I love it. Yeah. It's so fun.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. Do you guys have any other collaborations like that coming out? Because I really love the whole movement. I've recognized a few names. I feel like I've seen a few new faces, if I'm not mistaken.
Nah, it's all the same faces. We got Tevin, FYB Tevin. We got the Quincy Gates. We got Boki.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, C-Trill, DC, B-Pace, and me and Quee.
Maybe I just don't recognize.
That's 8 of us. It's 8 of us.
I feel like I just didn't recognize a couple faces, but I really kind of, I just remember.
Everybody all dreaded up now, you know what I'm saying? So actually, we gotta go crazy, because if you've been like grown with us, then you know that everybody, you know, you've seen everybody's growth spurt and just everybody yeah. So it all just it ended up making sense though. I think it's dope. But yeah, it's 8 of us, and FYB, we got an album coming out. I hope it comes out soon. I'm really hoping that y'all get it within the next month or two. You might be able to, might get it within the next month or two. We'll see how that goes. But the album's done though. It's complete. It's finished. It's actually been done for a while. It's been done for a while, and it's dope. It's some great music on there, man. You got some great records. You got some good Jacquees hooks on there. Females love it. It's some hits. It's some hits on there. It's a feel good. The album is dope. I think it's a great album, and so hopefully y'all get that. It's a collaboration album, FYB album, and so hopefully y'all get that. I'm hoping to get it ASAP. You know what I'm saying? Videos and all.
Mm-hmm. The videos are fun because it's a group collective. So
right, like Show Me Something. I feel like that was us getting back to our essence.
Right,
like get back to like our root. Yeah, and
day on camera.
Yeah, and that was my concept too. I came up with that concept. I actually got it from the Goody Mob, an old Goody Mob video called Sky High.
Okay.
And so I kind of took that idea and we just like remade the video. And everybody was skeptical. I know they was thinking like, what the heck? When we were shooting it, I know it probably didn't look like it was gonna be what it was, but it came out exactly how I seen it. Shout out to B-Pace. And it was real dope. Yeah, it was real dope.
Yes. So, I was about to ask, I looked in your bio on Instagram and you have Cash Money as a hashtag. So are you working with me right now?
Yeah, so we did a deal with Cash Money Universal 2018, back in 2018.
Okay.
So I guess it's kind of been on the low because I really, just been building, getting the whole thing together. But yeah, Cash Money. Of course, that situation came about because Quee was there first.
I remember.
He's been signed to Cash Money for like 4-5 years now, maybe more. And so when he got signed to Cash Money, he did his thing, and then I ended up signing with them because I went out there a few times to Miami and I met with Bird and Slim. And of course, it was a legendary thing for me, being as though Wayne is my favorite rapper. But I never really I honestly didn't think that I would got signed with Cash Money. I didn't really have that, that wasn't on my agenda. It wasn't when I seen Jacquees signing to Cash Money, I didn't think, oh, I want to sign to Cash Money. Or I didn't even think like that, I swear. I was just thinking that's amazing for him to have done that. But I always felt like I had my own walk and I was going to go whatever way God chose for me to go. But it ended up, God chose this route for me to go. And so when it happened, it wasn't, I mean, it might sound weird, but it really was a surprise, you know what I'm saying, when the situation played out the way it did. And I end up, you know, they end up wanting to do the deal. And so we got it done. And so now we just in the mix of creating the history that's gonna be told within the next 10 years of how it happened. So we in the very beginning, early stages of this thing. So y'all about to see it play out how it's gonna play out.
You ready? Life is a movie, okay? This is just one scene.
Exactly.
One scene. Do you, before I wrap it up, do you have any tips for upcoming artists? Because like I said, if I was a kid watching you as a kid do this, you have so much experience and I know you have so much insight. So what would you say a good 3 to 5 tips? Like what would you tell people that are looking at you, seeing you, you know?
Well, I can kind of sum up the tip. Like I think I kind of mentioned it briefly in my conversation that I was giving you earlier, but I think that it's important. I want artists. Personally, I want to see artists. I don't want artists to just, whatever the art is that you do, just have a purpose, find your purpose in it. Find your reasoning for it. Connect back with your God self to find out what it is that you do it for. Don't just do it because you want to be famous or you want to be rich.
Right.
Because personally, I look for artists and I'm interested in people that are doing it because, you know, they have of course, a natural talent for it, but a natural love interest for it. And with that natural love and that natural love interest comes purpose. So figure that out before you just like jump out there into this thing. Because if you ground yourself in who you are, then when you get in it, you won't go crazy like we see a lot of our celebrities do. Mm-hmm. And it could have been me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that we have to like ground ourselves and figure out who we are. And then once we go into it, we already know, so we can't be like knocked off track or because this industry will eat you alive. This entertainment industry, we already see everything that happens, all, you know what I'm saying, the shit that goes down in the industry. Right. And so I just want my advice to artists, especially younger up-and-coming artists, is to make sure you find your purpose and find the reason why you're doing it. Make sure, man, that whatever you're doing it, man, make sure it's just like, it's changing something, whether it be for good or for bad, whatever it is that you feel like you're doing, do it to the fullest. And be yourself, find yourself. That's something that I'm coming into, like being myself openly and not like be so worried about how people feel, what people think about you, because it's going to come with the territory. People will have opinions. I know people have opinions about me being in the industry or, you know, whatever they feel my journey has been. So I think that early on, try to get out of that. I'm just now getting out of that, like caring so much about how people feel and what people think about you. Just be you, and I guarantee you that there's an audience for everybody too. Don't be afraid, and this is the last thing. Very, very important. Last but not least, do not try to fit into what the industry wants you to be as an artist. Especially like for females, you know what I'm saying? Like females, it's like, oh, you have to be a certain type. I mean, it goes for males and females, but I'm speaking of females right now because I noticed, like, for example, female rappers, you have to kind of, I have to be sexually a sex symbol. I have to rap about this because ain't nobody gonna pay attention. I can't be rapping like this. But I'm personally looking for the next Lauryn Hill. I'm looking for the next Erykah Badu. You know what I'm saying? Now, I just want people to not try to fit in to what the industry tries to make you to be and live up to, like, you know, Instagram and whatever, like the pressures that the people put on you to have to, and then make yourself into this character because you want to be famous so bad, but it's really not even you at your core. So I just want, like, to tell people to don't don't go against all the norms. Go against that shit. Like, right. Go left. If everybody else telling you to go right, go left. Go the opposite way, and do that to the fullest. Like, I want to see more artists just break out Huh?
Yes, go where you want to go. Like
exactly. Go where you want to go, and don't let the industry try to make you into what they want you to be. And I see that a lot because, you know what I'm saying, even for male rappers, like, oh, I gotta rap about this, I gotta be like this, I gotta flex, I gotta have this type of persona, I gotta have this type of image, I gotta make sure I'm showing money, I gotta make sure I got all these chains. If that's what you want to do and that's who you are for real, then do that. But don't do it because you got to keep up with the program, because it's really a rat race. It's a dog race that we in. Yeah. Everybody gets in competition with each other. So it's just a dog. It's a rat race. You know what I'm saying? Don't get in that race. The only person you should be competing with is yourself. And so I think that's a super important one right there. Because I want to see more artists that just break into that mold and just going against everything the industry told them to be. Go against that shit.
And that's just creatives in our industry, period. Like, we all get held to that same...
Creatives, period. Exactly.
Yes, we all get held to that same standard, and it's kind of just like, you fall for it or you don't. I ain't falling for it.
I know that's right, sis.
I'm me. I've been me. That's why everything comes full circle, because I've been me myself. Like, that's it. That's all. So that's just like the nice period. Okay, this boy a preacher. I like this. Certified.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, but where can we find you? Like, you know.
You can find me on the gram, Instagram. I've been on there, of course. There's always a new social platform. So Instagram is the latest. And Triller, TikTok is Issa IM. I'm still on Twitter, but I ain't really been on Twitter like that. But I be updating my Twitter though. So you can still keep up with me. If you be on Twitter, then get on Twitter. It's Issa IM, ISSAIAM. My YouTube, Issa IM, and what else? Yeah, I'm on Apple. I'm on Spotify. I just put out the single on Apple and Spotify. We about to put out the video. I think Mello said we about to upload the video soon on Apple and Spotify. And what's the other one? Jay-Z joint. Title. Yeah, bitch, got the Title. Gotta give love to the black owners. Shout out to Title, and man, shout out to HipHopSince1987. It's a legendary site, and I'm so glad that you up there and you representing.
Yes.
And yeah.
Well, like he said, follow us at HipHopSince1987. Follow him at Issa IM, and make sure you stream Emotion.
Yes, ma'am. Let's get it. Love.
Thank you.
Hey, I appreciate you, sis. This been my first interview since the whole rollout.
For real?
Yeah, this is my